Hi, my name's Neftali, and this is just an introductory video on what will hopefully be a successful journey as a solo filmmaker. So, I've been wanting to make a movie since I was, 12 years old when I saw the original Star Wars. Yes, I'm dating myself because I'm coming up on 60. The original Star Wars in 1977 at the Chinese Man Theater in LA. I was living in California. Right now I live in Texas, but at the time we lived in California and it was like parting of the Red Seas. It was a magical movie, and for those of you that remember, if there's any of you that old out there, it was a pretty cool time. And ever since then, I've always entertained the idea of wanting to make my own movie. Of course, life gets a hold of you. You make other choices. I had other careers. I was you'll like this. I was a police officer for almost 30 years. And right now, I'm a college instructor for the last 4. So, see, I'm dating myself. But the point is, as a solo filmmaker, I've always been impressed by those filmmakers out there, especially the ones you see on YouTube, that make the best of what tools they have available to them. And yes, this is not cheap stuff. I'm very grateful for the stuff that I do have. But even if I only had a smartphone, which you can totally make a movie on, or an old GoPro, it's the creativity part, the challenges that you run into, and what I've always liked is, how do you get past those hurdles? How do you set up shots? How do you get the lighting when you can't afford the best lighting? And in my case, being a one individual filmmaker, I need to master several different skill sets, right? Audio, video, lighting, all of that stuff. It's all super important. And so what I hope to do is kind of bring you along on this little journey of mine at this old age of finally making that dream happen that I had so many years ago, before life took hold of me and I went in all these other directions. Totally different from filmmaking. In the last 25 years, I have done some professional work, not a movie, not fictional work. Most of them were industrial videos, training videos. I did branding videos for clients. So I was able to do some of that on the side. But to actually shoot my own story, my own script, and get the visuals just the way I want them, not with what the client wanted, but with what I wanted, has always been a dream I've had. And so I'm finally bound and determined to make that happen this year. And for those people that know me out there, I sound like a broken record, but I don't care. Keeps me out of trouble, and that's what I'm going to do. So I will start with this video and just quickly introduce you to the main camera that I chose for this project, which is what this video is about, the GH5s. This is a Micro Four Thirds camera, so it's got a small sensor, and a lot of folks that do independent filmmaking kind of shun away from this platform, but specifically this Panasonic G5S is well regarded with its low light capabilities because of the way the sensor is designed. It's a little bit different than the GH5. I think it uses a bigger sensor, still a Micro Four Thirds, but the aspect ratio is different. Just YouTube it. I'm not a technical person. I'm using dedicated Cine lenses from SLR Magic. I've got a set of 2 for the 2 focal lengths that I like. One is going to be a 17 millimeter, which in cropping for Micro Four Thirds will be a 34 millimeter focal view, which is perfect for me to use on wide shots and medium shots. And then I have a 50 millimeter SLR Magic lens, which will translate into a 100 millimeter, kind of like a entry-level telephoto. And those are my preferred focal lengths when I shoot a video. So those will be what I'll use, and I'll talk about those in another video on those specific lenses. Of course, audio gear is super important. I use Rode. This is a little NTG shotgun microphone. I'm wired up to a wireless Rode Go Pro lavalier with its microphone, and so that's super important. And if you don't know already, then know this: audio is probably at least 51% most important, and then the video is 49. Actually, there's one thing that's probably ahead of even audio and video is going to be whether you have a good story to tell or good characters that people are going to be interested in. And so as I'm talking to you here, I've got my script open up on the desktop. So I'm working that. That's a work in progress. It's almost flushed out. But again, this whole series of solo filmmaking videos will be about behind the scenes journey that I embark on trying to get this done and chasing a childhood dream, like I said at the beginning. But again, just real quick, my choice was in this video is the GH5s. This is my camera of choice to meet my needs. It was both affordable. It's got great capabilities in low light, which predominantly in this particular film I'm shooting is going to be using a lot of natural lighting. I do have, good lights that I can get to, like these aperture MC lights. I got a set of them. I've got some larger aperture lights. But being a solo filmmaker, you really got to take into consideration the logistics, the practicality of your equipment. So I literally am going to be working everything from behind the camera, on the camera, and then in this case, acting in front of the camera, which is not my favorite part, but I work cheap, so it is what it is, right? Hopefully my story will make up for me being in front of the camera, but I have to take full advantage of everything that I could afford to get. And even this it's not really low end, it's still all professional equipment. But it gets pricey because you have to take into account accessories, whether it's a tripod ball head in this case, a monitor, batteries, power charges, etc. The stuff adds up. So I don't want to stress these specific pieces of equipment, but I will share with you what I'm using and what I was gratefully able to get, and make the best use of it. And then at the end of all these videos, hopefully see the end product, which will be the movie itself. Don't think it's going to be a 2-hour movie. I wish. Probably going to be more like about a 15 to 20 minute featurette. But again, it's going to be all about the challenge as a solo filmmaker of how do I do this from beginning to end, from the script to the lighting to the selection of camera equipment, location. I found a great location in Utah, in a section of South Central Utah that is going to be perfect for my exterior shots. Just real quick, and I'll go into this in another video. The story is a dystopian story. It's going to be kind of near future, and with the Dune 2 movie just coming out as I record this, very inspirational to me to get that particular look and ambiance. So that is what I'm working on. Again, the GH5s I think is a great selection for me that I could afford. But even if I had more money and more funds, I think I still would have gone with this as opposed to a full frame camera, or even some fully dedicated cine rigs. It's going to do the job. It shoots 422 10-bit internal. No need for an external recorder. This monitor up here is an Adamus, but it's a Adamus Shinobi, just a basic monitor, not a recorder. I wanted to keep the files manageable, and with the 2 UHS card slots in here, that's all I need to work with, and I don't need to create more stuff, right? So again, being practical and focusing on logistics is going to dictate kind of, at the end of the day, the quality of your movie, right? Because if I start going out, I need this scene, I need that scene, I need these locations, I got to fund that, right? And that's not going to happen. So work within your means, of your financial means, and what you have around you accessible in whatever city you live in. Luckily, I live in far west Texas, so the location I found out in South Central Utah is about a 5-6 hour drive. So it's doable, right? I can get out there, set up my stuff, and then do my exteriors, and then interior shots will be probably done here locally. Again, I'm going to be the only actor in the movie. As I look at the script, I have a possibility of having 2 other actors, but not needing them in exterior shots, just purely, and these are going to be flashbacks, so they can be done in another background. So I may employ that just to give the story a little more meat and potatoes, as I say. But that's the goal. So hopefully, if you subscribe, you'll get to follow me and check these out and see as I fumble along. Always, my favorite videos have always been the ones about behind the scenes. I mean, yeah, we all want to see a good story. Like I said, Dune 2 and other movies like that, they're awesome. And I love gear. I'm a gearhead like anybody else. But at the end of the day, I like seeing that behind the scenes challenges that people make on their independent productions, low budget productions, and watching people make mistakes. And you'll see me make plenty of mistakes is how we learn. That's how I learn anyway. So hopefully I can share that with you and not make too many mistakes, because the goal is to make that little featurette at the end to kind of showcase my skills. But to make that happen is my goal. And if you want to join me for the journey, I think that'd be really cool. And you can see just how many mistakes I can make. And most importantly, what do I do to get past them? So look forward to it. Make sure you subscribe so you can keep up with the latest videos. And please comment on anything that you may be able to add on your experiences in making your independent film. All right, guys, we will see you in the next video. Bye.